Surprise! Yeah, that's right. I was kind of teasing throughout the week that I was going to do some surprise videos this Halloween season. Don't know why I chose this one, but I'm kind of glad I did. So my surprise to you folks is we're talking Monster High the movie. That's right. I remember doing a whole Paramount Plus announcement video, and I was like, "Oh, they're doing a Monster High flick? That's awesome." Because here's spoiler alert for me. Okay, if you don't know me well, and if you haven't been following this channel for long, you probably haven't heard me talk about my love of Barbie. More than I love Barbie. Well, okay, not more. In a different way than I love Barbie. I think Monster High is a great conception. Those dolls are awesome because if you are a small child of any gender and you're like, Barbie's a little too mainstream for me. I kind of like scary stuff, but your parents are like, well, I'm not getting you a Jason Voorhees mask or something. Monster High is a good way to go because it is classic monsters like Frankenstein, Dracula, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and then you can just have them as dolls that are girls, so you can still have the best of both worlds. And I think that's awesome because if I had a child, which I don't, I would be like, okay, we're going the crazy monster route. We're getting you your Draculaura doll and your Claudine Wolf doll, and that's what you're playing with. And they learn to love it. But I always thought the concept was fantastic. And I have this behind me, this collection of insanity. If I were to venture further into the realms of other stuff, Monster High was always something I considered getting into. But there is still the cultural stigma as a 20-something white guy having a bunch of Monster High dolls that I'm not ready to deal with in my personal life. Nothing against the dolls or anybody that does that. I just know I still get some strange looks. This still gets me strange looks. Monster High would get me more. But we're here to talk about the movie, folks. But I know what you're thinking. Taryn, come on, man. They've made a bunch of movies of Monster High. Yes, they made animated movies. This is a live-action attempt to capture the magic of those weirdly proportioned dolls. And it kind of slaps. I'm not going to lie. I watched this late last night because I was killing time before Werewolf by Night, if I'm being honest. I'm like, okay. I'm hesitant to watch this because I'm like, it's going to be cheesy, right? It's going to be lame and a cheap production made for kids. It is. It is that. But this is something I genuinely think is way more compelling for children than other children's content. The message is really clear from the beginning, which is important. Let your freak flag fly, come on. We're all different. We're all weird. What makes us different shouldn't be the thing that hinders us from meeting people or having friends. And I think that's a cool message that should be explored for, a younger audience. This whole story is Claudine Wolf. She is half wolf lady, half human lady. She gets an invitation to Monster High and she has to hide the human part of herself to the world at Monster High. And I think, yeah, that's a good message because you show the kid afraid to be different, but then they become accepting. And yes, it does it in the cliched way where the kid saves the day, but it's an important lesson to learn that people will accept you even for your differences, and tolerance is up and everything is better than it was in the days of old, because all of the old adults in this movie are curmudgeon-y people who aren't willing to accept things until they're put in harm's way. All of the kids are just yeah, we get it, you're different, we're all different. The adults are you can't be different. Kids, learn that message. You're allowed to be different and still make friends with people. And then it's just kind of high school antics for a bit. Here's how I would describe this film to you. Equal parts Hotel Transylvania, equal parts The Descendants, mixed in with a little bit of Munsters. And we just got a new Munsters movie from Rob Zombie. Here's something I'm going to say. This movie is way better than that one. I even liked that Munsters film, but this one I'm you have me laughing way more than you should for a guy in my situation. I can't explain it, but this Monster High film genuinely is funny. And maybe it's just because I love this kind of, when you're doing dry, dumb humor like a Munsters movie did, you have to make it worthwhile. And these just land so much better because there's a bigger commitment to the bit here, I think. It's the Descendants thing. A bunch of young kids who are legacies of these older things. It's very impressive. Oh, it's so funny for no right. I really hate that. We're going to shine all the characters, but before that, I just got to say, this is also a musical. And that's the thing. This is clearly, I say this like it sounds like a bad thing, but this is clearly Paramount being like, we're doing our Descendants. Like, we have Monster High, we're going to do our Descendants, where like the Disney villain kids come together or something. This is theirs of that. These songs slap way better, I think. Like, they are almost interchangeable each time they sing a song, but they're all cool, you know? Like, they all work for me. I unironically dig this movie, okay? It just worked for me. I was laughing my ass off at so many of the character moments. Their interpretation of Dracula has me rolling on the floor because the guy is a lunatic who looks stupid and silly. They're like Muppets, you know? Like, that's how some of them act. Like, the adults act like they're Muppets. I love that. Just give me that weird shit. But this is the story of the kids. Our leads are Claudine Wolfe, who is a great kind of like lead to get into this world. She does surprisingly well. That's the other thing. None of these kids are bad actors. The weakest part is the script, of course, but these kids know how to make it work. I say kids, none of them are probably that young because they look like they're in that weird age of like, we're playing 15, we're all probably 23. I love that. Claudine Wolfe is fantastic. I think she does well, is given a lot to do, has some great moments. Draculaura, she's fun. But come on. The standout is Frankie Stein. One of the best portrayals of a Frankenstein character I've ever seen. Now, that actor, is it CC something? They were in a couple of Netflix originals, and they've recently just transitioned, I believe, to non-binary. I can't remember. Their pronouns are they, them. Best actor in this movie. Holy shit. Frankie was phenomenal in this. So funny, quick with a joke, not understanding how things work. I love the idea that at any moment the parts of their body that have like smart people in it could just give them information. A hilarious bit. And committing to wearing that much like makeup. Oh my god. Like, how could I hate that? Like, that's awesome. And it was funny. They were so funny. I love it. Shout out to them, because holy shit, that is not something a lot of actors would commit to. Same with like everybody that wears all the prosthetics and the coloring. It's not a lot of them. You got like a hunky guy who's like a Medusa thing, turns people to stone, and like you could have done more with that look, I think, but whatever, it's fine. I think my biggest letdown is Laguna Blue, because she kind of comes off as like a stereotype for an ethnicity. I don't like that, but Cleo is fun. You know, she was surprisingly fun. Making her like the queen bee, okay, I'm all for it. Keep that in the long-standing tradition of these types of Cleopatra knockoffs being the queen bee at a high school. I'm okay with it. What a dumb movie that I just can't stop thinking about. Like, I genuinely think there's something special here. There's a good message. The acting is good. The music doesn't irritate you. Maybe because it's very backgroundy and forgettable. You're not going to be like drawn to it and have it stuck in your head. Like, I like it, but I can't remember a single lyric from it. So that's good. I like that. And the jokes are funny. Like, they have no right to be as funny as they are. It's so stupid, but I love every second of it. And the message, just be yourself, accept who you are. Every kid's movie does it, but it works great here again. How could I hate this movie? It does everything right. It's Monster High. It's Hotel Transylvania for teenage girls. Please show this to your kids, because they set up a sequel for some reason, and I want a sequel to this. This might be my new thing. It's so dumb, but awesome. I love it. Everything about this is sick. Give me more. I don't know. Maybe I'm losing my mind and I've been reviewing too much, but coming off of something like The Munsters, where I'm like, oh, this is boring. It's fun, but it's boring, and it's kind of aimed at me. This just made me smile more, and like that's all I want from a story like this, I suppose. So, Monster High, the movie, the live action one, I am going to give a 6 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.